Gidalit sa Department of Education, Surigao del Norte Division, Surigao del Norte Division. Ang programang mohatod kaninyo sa pinasahi nga pamaagi sa pagtudlo, paghatod sa bag-o ug mahinong danong leksyon nga kaniadto sa classroom lang madunggan sa kabataan, karon madunggan na sa kahanginan. Kauban ang alternative learning system. Kini ang radyo eskwela. Kini ang radyo eskwela. Padayon sa pag-eskwela, luyo sa pandemya. Ania ang inyong teacher broadcaster, Mr. Randy Lamanilaw. Maradyaw na adlaw Surigao, maradyaw na adlaw sa tanang mga nagpaminaw kumaan sa ilang paboritong sesyon. Inian idyo bagong programa sa kahanginan, kauban ang Department of Education, Surigao del Norte Division. Inian, Radyo Eskwela. Kini ang radyo eskwela. Kini ang radyo eskwela. Padayon sa pag-eskwela, luyo sa pandemya. Radyo ESkWELA was made possible through the effort of the following production staff: Director Rose Jean O. Suarez, Teacher Broadcaster Randy P. Lamanilaw, Production Assistant Cristil Grace Calderon, IT Graphics Artist John Pearl Manungas, Writers Surigao del Norte Division, ALS Mobile Teachers and ALS Coordinators, Emeline E. Bernades, ALS Education Program Specialist, CID Chief Dr. Domenico P. Larong Jr., SGOD Chief Dr. Julieta R. Vertudazo, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Laila F. Tenake, Schools Division Superintendent Maria Teresa M. Real, and this station. Have a great day, everybody. It's February 23, 2021, and it's a nice and a bright, shining Tuesday to all the Surigaonans who are watching through Facebook Live and listening through your favorite radio station here in the city of Allen Adventures. This is Surigao. Alright, so it's another day for Radyo ESkWELA, and I want to say thank you for always being there for Radyo ESkWELA, listening to our program, for always tuning in to our partner radio stations. Before we start, we would like to say hello and good day. Happy listening to our Schools Division Superintendent of Surigao del Norte Division. Hello to Ma'am Maria Teresa M. Real and to the rest of the Division Office personnel in the Schools Division of Surigao del Norte. And of course, from Surigao City, hello to Dr. Karen L. Galanida and to all the Division personnel of Surigao City Division. And of course, hello and happy listening to Surigao Islands Division. Thank you so much for being there for us here in Radyo ESkWELA. And today we're going to have another lesson for ALS RBI. Hello to our ALS learners all throughout Surigao del Norte, Surigao City, and Surigao Islands Division. Thank you so much for always listening to Radyo ESkWELA. Hello and good day. Happy listening to all of you guys. We will be having another activity for today under Module 2 of your life skills lessons right here on your ALS RBI. Hello, by the way, to our education program specialist for ALS there in Surigao del Norte Division. Hello to Ma'am Emeline Bernades. Okay, ALS learners, are you ready? Let's go! Magandang araw po sa lahat. Lalong-lalo na sa ating mga ALS learners na patuloy na nakikinig sa kanilang mga radyo at via Facebook Live. Narito na naman po ang inyong teacher broadcaster, Teacher Randy, para maghatid sa inyo ng mga makabuluhang leksyon sa Alternative Learning System Radio-Based Instruction. Hello! Kaway-kaway po dyan sa lahat ng mga BPOSAL learners ng Alternative Learning System. Hello sa balik paaralan out of school adult learners ng ALS dyan sa Surigao del Norte National High School. I want to say hello and happy listening! kay Mr. Hill Escabal, ang ating principal ng Surigao del Norte National High School. And of course to Ma'am Queen Anne Navalio. Hello Ma'am Queen. Hi po sa inyong lahat dyan sa Surigao del Norte National High School. Sa mga learners natin sa Surigao City at Siargao Islands Division, hello! Kaway-kaway po kayo dyan. Ngayong araw po ay may bago na naman tayong pag-aaralan. Natapos na po natin ang Activity 4, ang Effective Speaking, kung saan nalaman natin ang different speaking skills and strategies. Ngayon naman ay ang Activity 5. Welcome sa ating Module 2, Activity 5, Choosing a Form of Communication with the Objective. Choose when to communicate verbally, electronically, or in writing. Oh, ating mga A-list learners dyan. Nowadays, there are many different ways of communicating. You may choose to write an email, send an instant message, a text message, make a phone call, or write a formal letter. Today's activity will help you understand the different types of communication used in the workplace so you can choose the right form depending on your needs. Sa panahon ngayon, maraming ng paraan sa pagkikipagkomunikasyon. Pwede ka nang mag-email, gumamit ng mobile phone, o sumulat. Ang aktibidad natin ngayon ay makakatulong upang mas lalong maintindihan ang iba't ibang klase ng komunikasyon na pwede nating gamitin sa trabaho. Pwede ka namang makapili dito, depende sa kung anong angkop sa iyong pangangailangan. Alright, turn your module to page 23. Page 23. There are three main ways in communicating at work. May tatlong paraan sa pagkikipagkomunikasyon na magagamit sa ating trabaho. These are: number 1, verbal. Verbal. Number 2, written. Written. Number 3, electronic. Electronic. Come on page 23 and 24 of your module, look at the table there and decide whether each form of communication is verbal, written, or electronic. Place a check on your answer. Ang gagawin ko, titingnan ko muna kung kaya niyong sagutan kung anong verbal, written at electronic na form of communication bago ko isa-isahin ang pagpapaliwanag sa mga bagay na ito. Let's go! Look at the table. There are 4 columns. The first column says format. Format. Nakalista dyan ang iba't ibang format ng communication. Ang next column ay verbal. Basahin ang format at kung ito ay verbal, check verbal. Kung ito man ay written, it's in the next column, written. Or electronic, check electronic. Okay? Let's have the first one. Face-to-face conversation. Face-to-face conversation. Phone or landline. Phone or landline. Next is mobile phone, mobile phone. Interview, interview. Meeting, meeting. Training, training. Presentation, presentation. Letter, letter. Memo, memo. Report, report. Proposal, proposal. Email, email. Fax, fax. Voicemail, voicemail. Webinar, webinar. Conference call, conference call. Video conference, video conference. Project management website, project management website. Instant messaging. Example is Skype. Instant messaging. Example is Skype. Email mailing list. Email mailing list. SMS or text message. SMS or text message. The last one is sticky note. Sticky note. Verbal, written, or electronic. I will be giving you 5 minutes to answer, and please do it seriously because later when I get back, sa aking pagbabalik, ibibigay ko ang diskusyon kung ano ang verbal, ano ang ibig sabihin kapag sinabing written, at kung ano ang electronic. Tumama ka kaya? Alam natin yan sa pagbabalik ng Radyo ESkWELA.
Your systems are online.
Radyo ESkWELA, Radyo ESkWELA can now be heard loud and clear, loud and clear, reaching the homes of the learners and stakeholders in the province of Surigao del Norte. Bringing you the latest information from the Department of Education, radio-based instruction of the alternative learning system, and social realization on air. Now broadcasting through the 6th strongest and widest AM and FM radio stations in Surigao City and Surigao del Norte. Kini ang Radyo ESkWELA. Radyo ESkWELA. Padadyon sa pag-eskwela, medyo nan pandemya. We serve because we care. Welcome back to Radyo ESkWELA. Patuloy pa rin kayong nakikinig kay Teacher Randy. Alright, so let's proceed. As we go along, malalaman ninyo kung ilan ang tama sa sagot ninyo. So, makinig ng mabuti. Sa Activity 1 ng Module 2, napag-usapan na natin kung ano ang verbal. Sige nga, ano nga ba yun? Let's review. Number 1, verbal. It is any communication that uses words to share information with others. These words may be both spoken or written. Verbal communication is spontaneous and is often in a relatively fast pace. Verbal also is an act of speaking words out of your mouths. Kapag sinasabing verbal communication, Ito yung mga salitang ibinabahagi mo sa pamamagitan ng pagsasalita. Katulad dito, pwedeng nagsasalita ka na hindi mo na pag-iisipan ng mabuti dahil minsan dire-diretso tayo kung magsasalita. Kung anong nararamdaman natin sa ngayon, yon ang lumalabas sa ating bibig. Ika nga minsan, hindi na natin filtered yung sinasabi natin. And I could even still remember a verse from the Bible. The abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Example of verbal communication. Self-talk. Self-talk. Talking on the phone. Talking on the phone. Number 3. Speeches. Speeches. Discussions. Discussions. Presentations. Presentations. And prayer. Prayer. Ang Radyo ESkWELA ay isang halimbawa ng verbal communication because the message is shared through speaking. Alright? Kuha? Ang Radyo ESkWELA ay isang halimbawa ng verbal communication because the message is shared through speaking. Ako, si Teacher Randy na nagsasalita sa radyo at nagbibigay sa inyo ng mga kaalaman ay bahagi ng verbal communication. Kayo naman mga ALS learners na nakikinig dyan at matatawag na receiver of information ay taking down notes or writing on the lessons I shared to you for your activity or for clarification o mga paglilinaw na pwede ninyong itanong kay teacher. Nagsusulat kayo, di ba? Pero matatawag pa rin po siyang verbal communication dahil ang isinulat ninyo ay bahagi ng mga lessons na sinasabi ko. Written siya in a way pero connected siya doon sa lessons na binigay ko sa inyo through speaking. O yan, sana po ay naintindihan ninyo. Number 2. Written. Written communication. The sending of messages, orders, or instruction in writing through letters, circulars, manuals, reports, telegrams, office memos, bulletins. Written is done quietly and discreetly. It is carefully thought out and planned and gives you longer time to respond. It is also conveyed through words we choose to write or type on a keyboard. Nagpapadala ka ng mensahe, utos, tagubilin sa pamamagitan ng pagsusulat. Ito ay ginagawa mo ng tahimik at mahinahon. Isinusulat mo ito ng may pag-iingat, pinag-iisipan at pinaplano. Na ipaparating mo ang mensahe sa pamamagitan ng piling salita na iyong isinusulat or tinatype sa keyboard. Sa context ng ating leksyon, pag sinabing written, naka-hard copy po siya. Sa written po, it has to be read before it can be understood. Babasahin mo muna bago mo maintindihan. Halimbawa, si ALS learner ay gustong makapagtrabaho sa isa sa mga mining companies sa lugar nila. Isa sa mga requirements ay application letter. So, si learner na gustong mag-apply ay magsusulat siya ng application letter at pinag-iisipan niya ng mabuti ang isusulat niya upang matanggap siya sa trabaho. Halimbawa naman po sa lugar na pinagtatrabahuan ko at bilang isang teacher, dahil sa pandemic o dahil sa COVID na naranasan natin ngayon, ang principal namin ay gumagawa ng memorandum or memo at doon isinusulat niya ang mga schedule ng work from home at kung anong araw kami pupunta sa school. So, through written, ibinibigay niya ang kanyang mga instructions. Yun po ang ilan sa mga halimbawa ng written communication. Alright, let's talk about electronic. Electronic uses electronic media to transmit the information or message using computers, email, telephone, video calling, and fax machine. Nakaupo ka lang. Simply you can access global communication. Email, kahit nasa ibang bansa pa siya, can easily be accessed. Pwede ka nang magpadala ng pictures, documents, or files na kailangan niya. Kaya lang you need to create an account, so meaning you have internet connection. Sending messages through chatting or Messenger, Skype, WeChat, and even Facebook are part of electronic communication. Blogging also, and even you can follow or post comments. Electronic communication is possible only due to technology and the usage of internet. O mga ALS learners natin dyan. Nakikita nyo na ba ang kaibahan ng verbal, written, at electronic? To sum it all, verbal ay sa pamamagitan ng pagsasalita, written sa pagsusulat, at electronic through technology. Pag sinasabing technology, through mobile phones, laptop, computers, or even tablets for communication, of course with internet connection. Always remember this very important thing. Once you know what you are trying to communicate, you need to select the best form of communication for your message. The method you choose can make a big difference in how effectively you can communicate your message. Sa paraan ng komunikasyon na pinili mo, ito man ay verbal, written, o kahit ito man ay electronic, gumagawa ng kaibahan kung paano ka epektibo ang iyong pakikipagkomunikasyon o pagbibigay ng mensahe. Now, look at page 25. You have there 3-column table. Try to look at the first column. There are conditions there. When are you going to choose verbal message? The second column contains conditions when you choose written message. The third column contains conditions when you choose electronic message. Let's go at isa-isahin natin ang mga ito. Choose verbal message if you want immediate feedback. Kung gusto mo agad ng feedback o puna. Choose verbal message if your message is simple and easy to understand, o kung ang mensahe mo ay simple at madaling maintindihan. Or you don't need a written record of interaction. Kung nangangailangan ka ng written record o talaan sa pakikipag-ugnayan. O you can get together easily. Madali kang makakasama. Or you want to solve a problem or make a decision. O kung gusto mong malutas ang isang problema o gumawa ng desisyon. Now, choose a written message if you don't need immediate feedback. Di mo agad kailangan ng feedback o puna ng inyong mensahe. Or your message is complex and requires planning. Kung mensahe mo ay komplikado at nangangailangan ng pagpaplano. Or even if you need a written record for your files, kung nangangailangan ka talaan o ng talaan para sa iyong files. O your audience is more formal. Kung ang audience mo o ang madla ay formal, maaaring group or of professionals, kailangan written siya. O kaya naman ay kung you want to avoid miscommunication o maiwasan ang hindi pagkakaintindihan, you choose written message. Now, what are the conditions when you are going to choose electronic message. Now, you can choose an electronic message if you need quick but not immediate feedback. Kung kailangan ng mabilis at na mapadala ang iyong mensahe pero hindi ka agad magbigay ng feedback, pwedeng electronic message. Or your message is simple but you are physically separated. Kung ang mensahe mo ay simple pero nakahiwalay ka physically, then you need to choose electronic message. You need an electronic record. Kung kailangan mo ng electronic record or talaan through electronic, meron dyan. Use the electronic message. And choose an electronic message if you are geographically spread out or want to avoid time zone barriers, right? If you are going to avoid time zone barriers, you have to choose electronic message. Hindi magiging hadlang ang lugar o lokasyon at oras sa pakikipagkomunikasyon. Halimbawa, ang kaibigan mo ay nasa ibang bansa, ang iyong araw ay gabi sa kanila, kaya mas mainam na electronic communication. Pwede kang mag-email para mabasa niya after ng kanyang work. Or you have to choose electronic communication if you want to avoid miscommunication o maiwasan ang hindi pagkakaintindihan. So ayan, may pagpipilian na kayo kung saan pwedeng mag-message, no? Either verbal, written, or electronic communication. Now let's try to apply it. Turn your modules to page 26. Listen to the instructions. For each type of communication, there are 2 examples of how and when to use that form of communication. Write 3 more examples for each form. Alright, so there are 3. We have verbal, written, and electronic. Now you are going to use these examples as basis of your 3 more examples. Example number 1. For verbal, you call a co-worker to see if they can come help you solve a problem. If you are going to message this co-worker through written, you write a letter inviting people to an event. At kung gagamit ka ng electronic messaging, you use Skype to ask your co-worker a quick question. That's example number 1. Example number 2. You introduce a new intern to co-workers. So mag-i-introduce ka ng isang bagong intern o naka-OJT pa sa iyong mga co-workers. So i-introduce mo siya through speaking, and that's verbal. Pag i-introduce mo siya through written, you prepare handouts for a presentation. Right? Alam niyo yung handouts, yung printed paper na may lamang introduction sa iyong coworker or sa iyong intern na mai-introduce mo siya sa iyong mga coworkers. Or i-introduce mo siya using electronic message. Here is how are you going to do it. You set up a webinar to show the client the work you did for them. You set up a webinar to show the client the work you did for them. That's it. Now you have to write another 3 more examples for this 3 form of communication. That would be your assignment. Thank you so much, ALS learners, for listening. Always remember, your ALS teacher will be there to support you throughout the modules, and the teacher will check in with you several times a week by phone, email, FB Messenger, or in person to answer any questions you have and to monitor the progress you are making with assignments and activities. They are a great resource and will be able to help you when you do not understand something or want to know more about the session. Before ending up this program, I would like to say hi and happy listening to the 2 of the best practice teachers I had. Hello to Ma'am Riza Goring Omos Candilado. Hello to Ma'am Riza Goring Omos Candilado. Alright, to your hubby and of course to your baby, have a great day and happy listening. Thank you for listening to RADYO ESkWELA. And of course to Ma'am Elma Yap Amihan. Hello to Ma'am Elma Yap Amihan, and to your hubby Mark and to Kaloy. Have a great day and happy listening to the three of you. Isa na namang araw ang natapos natin dito sa Radyo Eskwela at patuloy pa rin akong nagpapasalamat sa inyong patuloy na pagsubaybay sa ating programa. Ako po ang inyong teacher broadcaster, Teacher Randy. Buksan ang isipan, palawakin ang kaalaman. Laging tatandaan na sa ALS, may pag-asa. Ito po ang Radyo Eskwela. Paalam!
Kini ang CBN